Welcome to 3 Inquisitive Kids. In this video, we will be proving that the square of any integer, or any perfect square, can be written in the form of 3k or 3k plus 1, as k is an integer. What we're trying to prove is that any square is either a multiple of 3 or one more than a multiple of 3. So how can we prove that? So our proof will use the division algorithm. What the division algorithm says is that any integer, a, can be written as bq plus r. In this case, q is the quotient, and r is the remainder. If we're thinking about division, a is the dividend, and b is our divisor. We also have to remember that r in this case is less than b, is less than the divisor. And it's either 0 if a is fully divisible by b, or it's a remainder, so it's greater than 0. Now we're going to start our proof. We're trying to prove the square of any integer, what it can be written in. So let's first just set a random integer. A is any integer. And we're going to take b is equal to 3. What we're trying to do is say, okay, we're going to take any integer, and then we're going to divide it by 3. Using the division algorithm, we can rewrite this as a is equal to 3 times something plus a remainder. And because the remainder has to be less than b, the remainder is less than 3. So now there's only very few cases we have to think about. We have to think about what will happen when r is equal to 0. What will happen when r is equal to 1? And what will happen when r is equal to 2? So our first case is when r is equal to 0. Then a would just be equal to 3q. And now we're going to try to see what the square of a would look like. So that would be 9q squared. As you can see, this is in the form of 3k because we have 3 times some number. Now, what if we have r is equal to 1? Then a would be equal to 3q plus 1. A squared would be equal to 9q squared plus 6q plus 1, which is equal to 3 times 3q squared plus 2q plus 1. This, as you can see, is in the form of 2k plus 1. Now, what will we have for our last scenario when r is equal to 2? So we find what a squared would be equal to. We would be left with this. And we can factor out a 3. As you can see, because q is an integer, a squared in this scenario can also be written as 3k, 3 times something, plus 1. So looking at all of our scenarios, a squared can either be written in the form of 3k or 3k plus 1. And this proves our claim. This rule, if you remember it, you can use it in many problems in the future. I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.